Good afternoon and welcome, everybody. This would be the Jeff Cameron Show right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Thanks so much for tuning to it. Good Monday. Hope you had a wonderful weekend, and I'll explain why the hell we're on at 1 o'clock instead of 3 in just a moment. Some of you probably wondering, wait a minute, this is not what I tuned in for. Others are like, yay. Still others are like, damn it.
Where's Chuck Oliver?
Damn it. Come on, Chuck. Who's this Fugazi filling in for you? On Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show, the WTSM app works for your mobile devices. You can email us if you like, jcs at 979espnradio.com. Yeah, weird deal. We are contractually obligated to run the Braves in the postseason. Once we took on the Braves here on the network, part of that deal is that if they are to make the postseason, you have to run the games. Makes sense. If they're going to buy into you and you're going to carry a team, you might as well at least do the courtesy of playing their postseason games if they get there. And so, we'll be happy to run the Braves. We're not happy that television dictated that today's Braves postseason game, first pitch 3:07. So we thought you can't not be on the air the week of Florida State-Clemson. And we thought best way to remedy that situation would be to come on now for a couple of hours and then give way to the Braves broadcast, and hoping that right here on these airwaves you'll hear the Braves clinch after that exhilarating come-from-behind win, big ninth inning. They're on the cusp of doing just that. Actually, if you circle back a little bit, you're a Braves fan, with the way the first game in this series ended, you thought, okay, we're never going to win a postseason game again, and our bullpen can go straight to hell. And, by the way, those sentiments from Braves fans no doubt being echoed in Washington currently, where their bullpen can absolutely go straight to hell, as it is now over 9. That's the ERA of the Nationals bullpen. My goodness gracious.
But it's been so predictable from the regular season that bullpens were going to be a huge storyline in the postseason, specifically in the National League.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I look around, we laughed about it. We said this is something that's going to happen, is going to keep happening. We've just seen bullpen after bullpen really struggle to close the door, and it has happened some in this postseason as well. So anyhow, as we get started, of course, the Rays and Astros are on. It's a day with, 4 games? It's crazy. If you love baseball, and I do, you get an opportunity to, when you get off work, catch up on some baseball, listen to some baseball. If you're at work, of course, we'll have, again, to reiterate, Braves for you at 3:07 right here on 97.9 ESPN Radio. In the interim, certainly wanted to talk about the weekend that was in college and pro football. Also note the build-up to Florida State-Clemson. I see where on social media, and I went away to the beach, Tom went away to the beach, everybody relaxed during the bye week, tried to make the most of the bye week. Of course, the team didn't have that luxury. They got to address some of their situations and focus on bettering themselves, and Willie Taggart talked about that with the media, including me. You'll hear my conversation with him in the second segment of today's show here. A lot about just kind of self-evaluating and really self-scouting before you go into the Clemson game. What I find interesting is how many people want to certainly believe, and I can't blame you for wanting to believe. I want to believe that Florida State has learned something about themselves, is playing, they're playing much better together, that they are somehow engendering, confidence throughout the ranks here, and that they'll go on the road and, despite what Vegas says, put up a good showing and give themselves a chance in the fourth quarter. That's all you can really ask for, is do you give yourself a chance like North Carolina did to shock everybody and pull off a major upset on Saturday afternoon? Because, to be sure, Florida State is a massive underdog, and for good reason. When you're talking about a Clemson team as talented as this one and a Florida State offensive line as poor as this one, it's just hard to kind of create or see a path to victory from where we sit. You're going to need, I think, an awful lot of help from Clemson. Now, these are college kids. And you know what? We've seen a little bit of Florida State circa 2014 in this Clemson team this year. You think about that team in 2014. Florida State, of course, had won the national championship the previous season. That year featured dominant victories, a celebration every Monday on this show as we came in to talk about overwhelming obliteration of opponent after opponent after opponent, save for the national championship game, which was a a hotly contested and for forever remembered contest. But Clemson had done it in second time in 3 years, and really has become the preeminent program in college football alongside Alabama. And I don't know, maybe they're bored because 2014 the Noles looked bored. They had a lot of guys making career decisions, making business decisions. A lot of guys kind of deciding they had reached the mountaintop and now it was time to get paid, and every man was for himself. And they didn't take their opponents seriously. They didn't always respect the game, respect other teams. They found themselves kind of toying with the game itself, and they got into some really interesting situations. And they were able to, because they were so talented, flick the switch. Jameis, whoever it was, in the moment would decide, all right, it's time to ball. Time to ball. We're about to get beat. And much to the chagrin of the college football-loving football world, right, every Saturday night, damn it, they did it again. And Chris Fowler was devastated on a week-to-week basis as the Noles would come back and find ways to win games. Clemson hasn't been quite that bad so far, but they've appeared indifferent at times, and that's human nature, especially when you're not a paid professional and you are a kid in college, and you have reached the summit. So maybe they are indifferent. Maybe they do go through the motions every week. Maybe they do play sloppy. After all, Trevor Lawrence, as talented as he is, he's thrown 5 interceptions this year. They haven't given the ball to ATN in a way that I would, certainly, with a back that talented and a line this good. They've found themselves searching at times and really banging their head against the wall. So start there and hope like hell that's the Clemson team we encounter on Saturday afternoon. Because if it is, who knows? Maybe you hang around long enough to begin to believe. And this team, by winning these last 2 games, whether it's fool's gold or not, we talk about this all the time in terms of baseball. When you're 0 for 10, it doesn't matter when you go into that next game as a hitter. If the guy you're facing has an ERA over 10 and you go 2 for 3 off of him, it doesn't matter. Confidence is still gained. You still feel good about it. You don't tell yourself, well, that's because I faced a really poor pitcher. The next time you stand in the box after going 2 for 3, you feel better about yourself. So who knows, Florida State feeling better about themselves after beating Louisville, bad team, after beating NC State, really bad team, feels better about themselves. They had a chance to get healthier in the bye week for those with the bumps and bruises. Probably looking at a 2-headed monster at quarterback here because James Blackman has practiced and appears to be healthy enough to play in this game. I think we need him in this game to keep Clemson honest and to force them to guard the whole field.
Yeah, the word out of the press conference today, which just took place a little over an hour ago. Usually there's a little bit more time between that and when we sign on. But it's James Blackman is starting. Both quarterbacks will play. But James is good enough to start, and Willie was comfortable enough to say it on a Monday before the game, not wait till Thursday and hem and haw.
Well, and I think the thing about that has been pretty consistent. He has said if James is healthy enough to start, he's our starting quarterback. I believe his upside is greater than that of Alex Hornibrook, and I'm fine with that. He certainly does force a defense to guard all quadrants of the field, and you need that. That big arm is a difference maker. I feel like Clemson would walk up here and really make those throwing windows obsolete. I mean, really, really narrow.
Yeah.
Otherwise.
You need both of them. We've been saying that for 2 weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks now.
Is that, listen, the moment that Willie spoke it into existence, that they had a package or a set of plays or whatever, a drive that they wanted to get Hornibrook in the game, at that point, unless somebody does something crazy good or crazy bad, you've got a 2-quarterback system of some sort. And James got hurt, and that's why we didn't have a 2-quarterback system our most previous game, but he's healthy again. So here you go. And I agree. I think James has to be the starter because you can't – I think it's important with this locker room. You can't let him lose his job by getting, his knee dinged up. And secondly, you're right. What you have to defend down the field at least opens up something for Cam Akers if we can hold up the point of attack for like 2 or 3 plays.
Yeah, this is where the negativity.
Like 2 or 3.
Yeah, this is where the negativity comes in, though, Tom. When I get snapped back into reality here, right? I can conjure up ways where big plays are hit upon, gain some momentum, begin to believe. Clemson begins to question, perhaps. But for Florida State to have any semblance of balance and to give their quarterback a chance to operate ahead of the chains or at least even, you got to run. You got to be able to run the football. And Cam Akers is our best player. but our offensive line is perhaps our greatest weakness. And I say perhaps, it is our greatest weakness. We are able to mask the glaring problem of this group and the lack of talent up front by running tempo and mitigating weakness, not allowing opposing defenses to get set up. When they do, if you look at those downs in which they are set up, we lose those battles. We don't win them. So can you run tempo? And if you do run tempo, are you okay with, and I think I have to be given that I was preaching it this year, that oddly complementary offense and defense this year kind of runs counter to what I normally would believe, but we're dedicated to an offensive system that has to run tempo. So therefore, I want more at-bats, not less at-bats with this offense. Since it's a stronger unit, they're going to score points. They have talent at the skill positions. They have to try to beat teams, especially good ones, in all likelihood, 50-40 or something like that. But do I really want that defense on the field more against this Clemson offense instead of less? Well, I don't have a choice because we can't play it slower. This isn't like it was in the past. Jimbo would slow this game way down like he's going to try to do against Alabama in his next game. He would try to slow things to a snail's pace to limit possessions and hope that you can win enough of those battles to keep this close into the fourth. He did that when he had the lesser team. We can't do that because we cannot block it up. So you can't minimize possessions here. And you're going to go on the road and allow Clemson to have more possessions against your defense? Whew, I don't know.
Good luck with that, Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, I just – that's problematic. I could see this really spiraling.
Right where we want him, buddy. Right where we want him. They see the film. They say, hey, man, cakewalk. No problem whatsoever.
Well,
third quarter,
you know what?
Then the crowd's going, here we go again. And you can feel that in the building. 90,000 people going, here we go again. Good luck with that, Clemson, indeed.
I'm trying, Tom. I'm trying to get there with you, baby.
It's out of our hands. I thought Mac Brown's pregame interview before North Carolina and Clemson faced off was perfect. What do you have to do to win the game today? He goes, well, first of all, we've got to not turn the ball over.
Yeah.
And we've got to get lucky. That's essentially what he said. We can't turn the ball over, and we've got to get some breaks along the way.
Hey, upsets happen. And they do happen. And they happen for a reason. And we watch them happen in college football all the time. And there are teams, North Carolina would have been one of them, that you don't think are going to be able to hang with a team like Clemson. For that matter, you see upsets over the years, whether it be, Ole Miss went over Alabama or something weird like that. We've seen games where you're like, whoa, what's going on here? But the truth is, typically, there are oddities that take place in those games, such as turnovers and big special teams play and winning the hidden yards and all that stuff, and maybe great players have an uncharacteristically bad day. It can happen.
You have to look at their drive summary, and it has to resemble what Miami did in the first half on Saturday. That's what we need. And if we get that then we've got maybe a coin flip of a chance. Maybe at that point.
Yeah, I'll touch on that later. The weekend that was featured Florida's domination over Auburn. Bo Nix looked terrible in that football game. Really, Auburn lost that game because of quarterback play. That was awful. Also, Gus Malzahn, 2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers to you, baby. Your passing attack is garbage. It's tough to watch, Tom.
Hey, guys.
It's not a lot down the field.
I'm sorry, guys. I got you this drive. I got it. I see what I can't do. We're going to throw a screen to the flats.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Again and again. Thanks for the 3 points, Iowa. How about Stanford over Washington, and the Pac-12 just shoots itself in the face before they get to the halfway point of the season.
Not the foot.
No, the face every time. They're done.
Oh, man, I just shot Marvin in the face.
Well, UCF fans can go back to debating whether or not they could have defeated the 2013 Seminoles, but in the interim, we know they couldn't beat Cincinnati. Thank you for playing.
Oh, my God. What a choke job that was.
Texas Tech knocks off Oklahoma.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
All arrived and are on the lot for immediate delivery. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude with MSRP starting at $25,120. On sale now for $18,870. That's a savings of $6,250. A new Jeep starting at only $18,870. Those prices are unheard of and can only be found at your Jeep headquarters of America, Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. No other dealer can offer you this kind of savings. We buy in mass quantities and pass along the savings to you. 2018 Jeep Renegade Latitude starting at $18,870. Payments as low as $299 a month. On the corner of West Tennessee and Capitol Circle, where we're right on the corner and always right on the price. Check us out on the web at TallahasseeDCJ.com. All prices include rebates and incentives plus tax, title, and dealer fee. State number 18J605. Must finance through Chrysler Capital and qualify for all rebates and incentives.
Not only does this taste well, if you're at Bumpa's Local 349, first of all, just saying the word lavash is awesome. It also tastes great because what it is it's topped with olive oil and garlic and Havarti cheese and Parmesan, and it's just damn delicious. But more than anything else, I'm glad it's good, because if it wasn't, I'd be so sad, because I'd want to say lavash. When they come over and they say, what do you want? I go, lavash. You know, listen, the menu's got burgers, it's got wings, it's got salads, it's got pastas, it's got ribs, it's got all the good stuff. It's got a bologna sandwich. It's got a bologna sandwich.
The penne alla vodka. This is interesting.
That's damn tasty.
It is damn tasty. It's not something that I'm picky when I eat.
You are.
My pop is a huge fan of penne alla vodka, and he says you got to have it done just
perfect.
right.
Theirs is perfect.
The reputation for that has made it into 3 different conversations I've been involved in over the last 2 months in Tallahassee. It's ridiculous.
Bumpa's Local 349. Good food, good people. Go see them. They're on Capitol Circle. Good stuff.
You see them all around town. Cintas trucks and their service reps taking care of customers. When companies use Cintas, you know they're confident and ready. Cintas helps with their fire protection and first aid and safety programs, handles their apparel solutions, and helps keep their facility and restrooms clean and stocked. So you know those companies care about their employees, facilities, and image. When all those things work together, they're ready for business.
Oh, I'm ready!
Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
The Chuck Oliver Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you by Cigars of Tally. Cigars of Tally, your one-stop shop for all things cigars. 1401 Market Street and their new location, Midtown 926 North Monroe.
Who's ready for the best wings in Tally and locally brewed beers? Hobbit American Grill is the place to be. They've been voted Tally's best wings again in 2018. Hobbit offers Bingo Mondays, happy hour all-day Fridays with craft beers on tap from all the local breweries. And the Hobbit is your home for all the UFC fights with plenty of high-def TVs for everyone. Be on the lookout for the food truck coming soon with the best lip-smacking wings in town. Hobbit American Grill, celebrating 40 years of serving great food to great friends for good times. For info on their hours and 3 locations, visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
All right, welcome in. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio. As we are wont to do on Mondays, we get an opportunity to talk to the head football coach at Florida State University. He's Willie Taggart, and he's off of a bye and 2 straight wins, and he joins us now on the Jeff Cameron Show. First of all, Coach, since we last talked, another win in the coffers, if you will, another step forward defensively, plenty to get excited about with the diversity on offense, and you get a needed bye week. You get a chance to kind of rest the bumps and bruises, but also I guess talk big picture here. Your focus in the bye week, and then also a little bit about the growth of your football team.
Well, I've been really excited about the way our guys have come together, and really these last two games, how they played for one another. I think that's the big thing when you watch our football team now. You see a team that's playing for each other, having fun playing for one another, and making plays for their teammates, and it's making a huge difference with our football team, you know. And then during the bye week, we got a chance to self-evaluate ourselves and where we were in the first 5 ball games, the good, the bad, and really try to correct some things and X out some things and try to make it to where our guys are really comfortable with what we're doing so they can just go out and play free.
You talk about that growth. How important is it? I know that a lot of times, you know, coaches will certainly harp on the process, and look, the results will come if everything behind the scenes is right and your work ethic is right and your focus and your connection with one another and the work ethic that we talk about so often. But it is important to see the fruits of your labor and to get a win, and now you get 2 straight. How much confidence do you think that infuses into a team where obviously this is a daunting task? Clemson has not just owned this series as of late, but they've beaten everybody as of late. And so, you know, you want to be on a roll and you want to have some confidence before you chart out this path here. It's a tough one.
No doubt. And our guys understand that, and to get those 2 wins was huge for our football team and just getting better. You know, we constantly talk about getting better each and every week and playing winning football, you know, and I think even though we're playing Clemson, it's no different than playing anyone else. We got to play winning football. You know, we got to take care of the ball on offense, try to get some takeaways on defense, and score some points.
Where are the areas you said you focused on yourself in the bye week and you wanted to improve upon some things and get better in areas? When you look back and you did that assessment and you self-evaluated, coaching staffs get together and do that, where did you see the areas where you were most improved, and then also areas where you think there's still a long way to go, but we can get there?
Well, I thought improvement was, you look at our defense, and when it comes to run defense, our guys have improved tremendously. If you look back and start a conference play with Virginia, our guys started to play so much better. Our football team has been playing so much better, and I think as you change the culture of your program, your team tends to play up and down to the level of competition, and that's the part that we got to get to, where we have a standard of where we play each and every week, and our guys are starting to play at a higher level against the level of competition that we're playing, and it's going to take for us to play our A game again to win against Clemson, and our guys are got to understand that. And I wouldn't say just Clemson. I think anybody that we play, we got to play at a high level.
When you have a game of this magnitude on the horizon, how difficult is it to remain patient? Don't play the game too early in your head. You know, I know most coaches would want a bye week before a game like this. At the same time, this is the talk of the conference. It's a game that every year, certainly the fan base knows this has become the preeminent rivalry in the conference. Players, no doubt, want a chance who were here a year ago to get back out there and get a shot at Clemson. How do you pace the 2-week stretch?
Well, we focus on us. You know, we can't focus on Clemson. I mean, I think that's the key, is that we focus on us and us getting better. And you probably heard me say it before, but it's really never about our opponents. It's about us and how good can we play on that Saturday. So we really been focusing on us and trying to get better at the things that we want to accomplish. So when we go out and play, we can execute efficiently and consistently enough to be able to win a ball game against a team like Clemson, who does those things that I just spoke of.
James Blackman, is he healthy enough to get the start? I know sometimes, obviously, there could be a strategic element that you don't want to reveal in a question like that or an answer like that, but I think this question really comes from a place of his health, just wanting to know if he's back ready to go, because I know you've said in the past, if he's healthy, he's your starting quarterback.
Well, absolutely, and James been practicing with us, and both guys been having a good practice over the bye week, and look forward to those guys having a great week of practice.
What's it like to try to balance that? I don't want you to reveal the strategy of a singular quarterback or a dual quarterback, but you were a former quarterback, so I like asking you those kinds of questions. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. You're sensitive to it as a former quarterback. Both guys bring a little bit something different to the program, a little bit different to their game. How do you balance that?
You always try and do what's best for the football team. You look at the situation and where you're at and what you're doing, and you do what's best for the football team. I don't think you can just say one or two things is the best way. You just got to where you're at with your team and what works.
Last couple of things, Coach. This is a different kind of atmosphere. You've played road games, but this will be unlike anything the team has played in this year. How do you think, this team responds to that? And then also, I know you don't care about these things, but when Vegas lays a line like that where it's almost 4 touchdowns, it seems like there's a disrespect card to be played there.
Well, I can tell you Vegas been wrong before.
Yeah.
So can't get caught up out of that. Once the whistle blows, then all that is irrelevant. Even the atmosphere and all. Once the whistle blows, you got to go play football. And the key for us, just like I said before, is for us to be prepared, go out and play with great effort, and play winning football. That's what it's going to take to beat Clemson. And our guys understand that, and we got to play disciplined football. We can't have those penalties and can't turn the ball over. And when it's time to make a play, our guys got to make plays.
Coach, it's always a pleasure. Best of luck to you. Be well. I'll talk to you down the line.
Hey, thank you very much, Jeff, and go Noles.
All right, take care.
Right.
That's the head coach, Willie Taggart, and a tall task. I don't – it's a tough line of questioning. I don't know. From here, I wanted to ask an awful lot about the targeting stuff. I don't think he wants to talk about that. Coaches get fined pretty easily. I wanted to, because you're going to lose an important figure in this game, and week to week we see this now. And I don't know how you coach defense anymore, but I don't think Coach wanted to get into that. And moreover, obviously from this standpoint, they're huge underdogs, and all you're really going to be able to talk about is yourself. Clemson, if they execute, should win the football game. They've got a better depth of talent than Florida State does. They're playing at home. They should be angry coming off the game against North Carolina. Sadly, I fear they were awakened from their slumber. But at the same time, Coach Taggart, I think, is right about cleaning up some things in your own backyard and garnering some more confidence moving forward off of 2 straight wins and an opportunity to get right during the bye week. I think they're healthier. From what I've been told, the guys with the nicks and the bruises were back practicing and focused and playing pretty well. We'll come back, react to some of that, and talk about this game. This is a game that the build-up for the week will be interesting. I don't know where my head's at currently about the game, other than I don't think Florida State's going to win it. I'm trying to convince myself somewhere along the way that there's a way, there's a path to a stunning upset for Florida State. Jeff Cameron Show, 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Champions, this message is brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey, proud supporter of Atlanta Braves baseball.
It's football season in Florida's Panhandle, and the best place to shop for FSU apparel and merchandise is Garnet & Gold. Owned and operated by Seminoles for Seminoles for nearly 40 years. Garnet & Gold has a huge selection of FSU merchandise to serve you, the true Nole. Shop online 24/7 at garnetandgold.com. And on game days, visit us on West Pensacola Street, just 2 blocks from the stadium. And remember, we're always open at garnetandgold.com. Go Noles!
The Friday Night Lights are back on Tallahassee's Sports Monster. Catch a full season of high school football action on 97.9 ESPN Radio in broadcast partnership with a Varsity Sports Network. High school football on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you by Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. Whatever your heating or cooling needs, turn to the experts at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning, 580-4029, and online at baranoac.com.
Can you hear it? There's no better tradition in all of sports than 80,000 Noles doing the war chant. Now is your chance to be a part of that. Single game tickets are on sale now as the Noles welcome in all alumni for homecoming inside Doak Campbell Stadium as Syracuse comes to Tallahassee Saturday, October 26th. See Florida State football live in person. Call 888-FSU-NOLE or visit Seminoles.com today.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
Hurricane Michael was not kind to many of our homes and businesses. As I ride through Tallahassee, the blue tarps and missing shingles are abundantly visible. While a few missing shingles may seem like minimal damage, I assure you they are not. Leaks can occur, causing wood decay, interior damage, or mold growth within your home or business. We specialize in storm damages and insurance claims. Let us get your roof back to shedding water, not leaking water. Call us today. We can help. At T-Spark Enterprises, we conquer all peaks.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 13312004.
Times can be tough, but getting a late model car is easy at Champion Auto Sales. Champion Auto Sales can quickly approve you, no matter how bad your credit. Bankruptcy, repossessions, bad credit, no credit. Champion Auto Sales can have you riding today. Give them a call at 850-999-8395 or visit them on the web at championautofl.com. Their brand is quality and credit approval is guaranteed. Champion Auto Sales, 2754 West Tennessee Street across from TCC. Stop by today.
Chuck Oliver here, and there's no better place to watch football this season than Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, located at 926 North Monroe Street. On the corner of 3rd Monroe, Cigars of Tally is the perfect place to kick back and enjoy your favorite cigars and ice-cold beer. The Diamond Crown Lounge offers countless options, including J.C. Newman, Arturo Fuente, Padron, Drew Estate, Ashton, and many more. Watch your teams on sparkling 4K TVs and seating areas made for comfort and luxury relaxation. Check out the private conference rooms and the spacious patio for your next watch party and fantasy draft. Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, 926 North Monroe Street. Get your ash in here.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Look around. That's right, you see Nissans everywhere. Tallahassee has officially become a Nissan town. The Kraft Nissan town. Why? Because Kraft Nissan has the best pricing, best selection, and the best buying experience in town. And at Kraft Nissan, you get the best value for your dollar. With more standard features, our exclusive and the original lifetime warranty, our Easy Choice menu that gives you a price and payment in writing, our New For You program that helps people with damaged credit, and every new Altima and Rogue we sell has both special interest rates and rebates. You get both, plus $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Best of all, my people are the best in the business. They will greet you with a smile and a handshake, and they know your time is valuable. My managers are always accessible, and of course, you can always ask for me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Kraft Nissan difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
ESPN Radio Sports Center.
I'm Christine Lisi. Busy day on the Diamond today with all four of Major League Baseball's playoff series in action and on ESPN Radio and the ESPN app. Down 2-1, Cardinals face a must-win in Game 4. NLDS at home versus the Braves, 2:30 Eastern. Dodgers up 2-1 with a chance to move on as they visit the Nats in NLDS Game 4 at 6 Eastern. Twins try to avoid the sweep and extend their season when they welcome the Yankees in Game 3 tonight at 8 Eastern. New York's outscored Minnesota 18-6 in taking a 2-0 series lead, and discipline at the plate has played a major role in that, notes ESPN's Tim Kirkjian.
It's what Aaron Boone talks about all the time. His favorite expression is controlling the strike zone, and his hitters are controlling the strike zone now, which means the Twins have to throw a strike. And it's not a very good situation when the Yankees are swinging at strikes, because that's when they can really crush you.
Tim Kirchin on the Baseball Tonight podcast. NFL, winless Redskins fired coach Jay Gruden. Washington went 35-49-1 under Gruden. ESPN's Adam Schefter reporting assistant head coach, offensive line coach Bill Callahan will be interim coach in D.C. Gruden, who entered this season on the hot seat, had 1 year left on his contract after this season, and he is owed $5 million for 2020. Colts defensive end Kimoko Toure will miss the rest of the season with a broken ankle, reports ESPN's Mike Wells. Chiefs QB Pat Mahomes tweaked his ankle in last night's loss, but should be okay, says his coach Andy Reid. Mahomes plans to get treatment ahead of the game against the Texans.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Man Cave Monday, brought to you by Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Check out the latest 2019 inventory at TallahasseeDCJ.com today.
I learned today that made me smile? This guy singing, Rick Ocasek, who just died, what was it, a week or two ago? Had cookies the night before he died. Paulina Poroskovich, his ex-wife, had dropped them off, and they had a little conversation. He was recovering from surgery and doing pretty well, she thought, and he always liked cookies. And so she said, "Here, I thought you'd like some cookies." He ate them and went to bed. He said he was feeling a little tired, so his last meal was cookies. That's, you know... Yeah, you die, but I mean, we're all going to. Cookies ain't half bad.
Yeah, that's there's some innocence to that.
Yeah,
that's a tender
nice.
moment
image. A little bit of cookies. All right. Thanks, Paulina. I will eat these cookies. Thank God for Park Your Ass Saturday coming up.
Ooh.
We got a Park Your Ass, indeed, on the horizon, because Week 6 was a dud. But Week 7, yes, sir.
It was the best week for, bye-week entertainment value. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
unless you just liked Michigan and Iowa being locked into a 10-3 battle from about the middle of the second quarter to the end of the game.
Thanks for the 3 points, Iowa. Sweet Jesus. Kick another field goal and I got my cover. Can you score 6 points? 6.
No. No, they can't.
Oh, I mean, I was just blown away by that. That was a disgusting game. Really, I think Michigan fans left that stadium going, I feel worse. I feel worse than I did before the win. We're as bad as I thought we were. Yeah. This is garbage.
And I took in quite a bit of Yankees Twins, which on Saturday I quit by about the 4th inning. I said, all right, babe, this one's over. After the grand slam, I was like, okay, we done? We done? Sounds good.
Yeah. By the way, the Park Your Ass Saturday, I should note, comes on the heel. Well, listen, we've got
got Red River to kick it off at noon.
Well, we got things to decide. We have things to decide, and it suddenly gets a little bit more interesting. The bottom line is this. I think up to this point, we all recognize for what it is, right? The best teams in college football are the teams we thought were going to be the best teams in college football, whether you're talking about Alabama, whether you're talking about, Clemson hasn't played like one, but we know from last year what they are when they decide to crank it up.
All of their championship years. When they decide, then you got no chance.
But at the end of the day, you knew Georgia would be great. Georgia's great. You knew Alabama would be great. Alabama's great. Ohio State is really great. Probably the surprise of the elite, because there were question marks with the new head coach and all of that and a new quarterback. You thought, okay, well, we have to see at least that it works. It looks good on paper. Well, it more than works. They dominate the line of scrimmage. Oklahoma has been great. So right about now, you're going to say 5, maybe 6 teams. LSU, Ohio State, Georgia, no particular order here, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma. There they are. That's them. Now, I'm going to say, in the interest of fairness, if the University of Florida goes on the road to Baton Rouge and knocks off LSU, who's been nothing short of a freight train up to this point, okay, they ought to be ranked in the top 2. I'm not kidding. If they win that game, they ought to be ranked in the top 2. just from a resume standpoint.
Yeah. Well, also Red River. If Texas beats Oklahoma,
Correct.
in this game
Their
on
only
Saturday,
loss is a narrow defeat to LSU.
Tell LSU. Now you got a case. You got a real case.
They'd certainly be back in it. And you might get some Wisconsin people saying, "What about us?" I don't care that you steamrolled sorry ass Michigan.
You'll get your chance at the end of the year with Ohio State.
Right.
You get your chance.
It'll all work out. It'll all come out in the wash. But one team that I do think is interesting, and I've loved watching them play on defense. I don't know if they're dynamic enough offensively, but I've been telling you, and I've been preaching this for a little while now. I do believe in that Penn State defense. I think it's really, really good.
Well, one thing I should note: Wisconsin and Ohio State actually play each other in the regular season this year.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks' time, so they get 2 chances. Wisconsin does to play Ohio State to make their case.
Well, and going back to what you just said in terms of Texas and Oklahoma, right now Texas, you're kind of going, well, I don't know. You didn't look great against West Virginia, but okay. But you beat Oklahoma.
Exactly.
All right, here we
you
go.
shut down that offense, or at least you hold it at mid-20s. Then people will have to take note. Yeah.
Yeah, at that point, all is forgiven, right? But this weekend, we had some hopes for it, and it didn't turn out to be much.
The next one, as in the upcoming weekend, though, it starts with a bang. You get Virginia at Miami Friday night, buddy. Friday night ACC football on ESPN.
So back to the aforementioned Park Your Ass Saturday that Tom is alluding to right now. And you're right, on a Friday night, Virginia and Miami. I got to tell you, if you're a Miami fan, you are so frustrated because if you don't turn the ball over all the time, you probably have a couple of wins where there are currently losses in the category. But
the problem is they're not all batted passes.
No, your season's a wash now. And you ended up having to replace your quarterback with a known garbage quarterback, and N'Kosi Perry had to go back out there, and just, my goodness. That's a toughie. But I wouldn't be surprised if they beat Virginia. I think Virginia's a fraud.
It would be like the Pac-12 rule, right? Because this would put Virginia at 3-0 in the Coastal and Miami at 0-3 in the Coastal.
If you want to ensure the Pac-12 just sinks the ship, right? I mean, they're already screwed with that Washington loss. And by the way, Chris Peterson, come on, man. What are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
2 fingers to my eyes, 2 fingers back to you. That thing's gone stale in a hurry in Washington. But if Oregon somehow falls to anybody, like let's say Colorado shocks the world.
Yes, which is all. That's also, on Friday night at 10 p.m. So you
10
get a double header here. It's both conferences going. Can we at least have a beta team? Can we have at least for the Pac-12, I guess it'd be an alpha team.
Yeah, I think Memphis Temple is interesting. There's so many games that are non-marquee games this weekend that you'll still want to watch. So you have to go back. But I mentioned you talked about Schadenfreude game, Alabama and Texas A&M.
That runs concurrent to our game, and yes, we might need to look over there to Alabama A&M a little
Florida
bit.
State, Clemson on simultaneously, as you noted there, but also. I think that Oklahoma, Texas, 6 o'clock. Noon. South Carolina, Georgia is a noon game. Probably not a good game. I'll check in. Does Penn State, Iowa have a chance to be a good game? Well, it's at night in Iowa.
Yeah, it's Kinnick Stadium at night.
At night, they show up. They look like a different team. But Florida at LSU, 8 o'clock in prime time. By the way, how great was it that Oregon State knocked off UCLA? So much for the, hey, Chip's got it figured out. They gave up 48 at home.
Benny's been on a bender ever since. He's not fit for radio right now.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
Benny's underneath the desk, and I think he's gone through 3 cases.
USC and Notre Dame, which is a good game by name only. All right. It is as close as we're going to get for a while to a Park Your Ass Saturday, I do believe.
Because every window has something that's supremely interesting. You got it's a triple header in a sense with some bonus games in and around.
We will be, obviously, Hangar 38, really looking forward to anybody that wants to come out and hang out with us for the watch party. It may mean that you need distractions, and there are fun distractions. I call them distractions, but fun things to engage in. You could go bowling. You could play the video games, pop a shot, you name it, you got it. If the game gets a little unruly for us, you have sidebar items. You have things to do. Good food, plenty of beer, video games, bowling.
Well, yeah, and full bar options. So you got full bar, sidebar.
Whole deal.
All kinds of games on all their TVs. Yeah, it'll be a nice day.
Bucks lose yesterday.
Yes, they do.
Falcons lose. They always do.
That game was a one-score game in key moments, Bucks and Saints, and yet it felt like the spread was 17-20 at all times.
Never felt good at all. By the way, I looked it up because I was kind of curious. I hate this for Devonta Freeman. 11 carries, 30 yards, averaging 2.7 yards per rush. You know, the Falcons are 18-19 since that debacle in the Super Bowl. Sub 500 ever since the Super Bowl are the Falcons.
They had a big lead in that game, didn't they?
I don't think so. No, I think they gave up a gazillion points and really never.
I'm talking about the Super Bowl.
Oh, I'm talking about the yesterday's debacle where they gave up
they had a big lead in the Super Bowl.
1,000 yards.
I think.
Deshaun Watson threw for 426 yards and 5 touchdowns.
There were a lot of people in a lot of games who racked up a ton of fantasy points. You got receivers racking up 200 yards. McCaffrey and Dalvin Cook both going over 200 yards from scrimmage. Will Fuller and Deshaun Watson paired up. The Eagles' defense scored 40-plus points on me yesterday because that's how bad the Jets are.
The Jets are bad. Luke Falk is not an NFL quarterback, my man. 15 of 26, 120 passing yards. Thanks for the 2 INTs, a QBR of 1.9.
Oh, my.
1.9 action for that ass.
That is better.
That's a toughie.
If you like pain, that's better than Andy Dalton's 2 from years ago.
Yeah. Well,
which was the Morangi.
Cincinnati lost that game that we said was unwatchable to Arizona.
They did.
Gave Arizona their first win of the year.
Well, and it was perfect, right? Because Arizona built up a lead. Cincinnati came back. So it was 2 teams trying to blow it, and Cincinnati blew it a little bit more.
Speaking of fraudulent, real quick, as we go to break, I got to tell you, I feel like if you're a Dallas fan, how the worm has turned. You're like, well, you know, we really got off to a good start. Who did we play? Oh, the worst teams in the league.
Giants, Washington, and Miami.
That's it. And now that we've played 2 decent teams, we've gotten beat both times and can't move the ball. Okay.
So I'm not sure about that Dak contract now. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Everybody freeze.
That 2 was kind of weird because it was 31-3 at one point. Then the yards got stacked up because of all the passing, but the game was already over.
Yeah, thankfully I got some Godwin action late.
Yeah, there you go.
Puts me over the 100-yard plateau.
Well, hey, Matt Ryan's my fantasy quarterback, and he is breaking out 40 points every weekend because they're down by 50. They can't stop anybody. They're usually getting killed. Then it's garbage time, and they let him throw everything underneath.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
Just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstyle.com. For style, quality, and design, get the seller's advantage. In Tallahassee, call 656-8453.
The Chuck Oliver Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you by Cigars of Tally. Cigars of Tally, your one-stop shop for all things cigars. 1401 Market Street and their new location, Midtown 926 North Monroe.
One of my favorite things about being a member at Orange Theory Fitness is the sense of community. Initially, after taking the tour and seeing the state-of-the-art equipment, I was intrigued. I became convinced even once I researched the science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired workouts, all of that. But what I didn't count on was the support, the sense of camaraderie shown by the members and the coaches. You realize pretty quickly you're not alone. And when you're pushing yourself through barriers and attempting to be your personal best, you can use all the help you can get. And it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Who's ready for the best wings in Tally and locally brewed beers? Hobbit American Grill is the place to be. They've been voted Tally's best wings again in 2018. Hobbit offers Bingo Mondays, happy hour all-day Fridays with craft beers on tap from all the local breweries. And the Hobbit is your home for all the UFC fights with plenty of high-def TVs for everyone. Be on the lookout for the food truck coming soon with the best lip-smacking wings in town. Hobbit American Grill, celebrating 40 years of serving great food to great friends for good times. For info on their hours and 3 locations, visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
It may not be stomach issues.
For me, it's intense gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms but could never figure it out.
No matter what I did, they never went away. So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
EPI is caused by my pancreas. It leads to diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools. The symptoms just don't go away.
But EPI can show up with even one symptom.
The good news? EPI is manageable.
But to get to the right diagnosis, you have to break it down for your doctor and get specific about the severity of your symptoms.
Visit identifyepi.com to learn more and use the symptom checker to help change the conversation with your doctor. Brought to you by AbbVie.
It may technically be autumn, but DeWalt and Cornerstone Tool & Fastener are running out a sizzling hot sale. Cordless deals that can't be beat. If you buy 2 select tools, get a dual 5-amp starter kit free. If you want to go bigger and better, buy a 2-piece premium brushless hammer drill impact kit, and you can pick a select free bare tool and get a third 5-amp battery free. That's 3 tools, 3 5-amp batteries. Or buy a 3-speed brushless impact kit and get a second impact kit for free. Cornerstone Tool & Fastener, where the pros and serious do-it-yourselfers shop. Tallahassee location open Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on, man?
Hello, Eddie. How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm okay. I guess we got to do this commercial.
Time for the bantering to begin.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeff? I want something different now.
You don't want to banter anymore.
I enjoy the banter. I do. But I want theme music, Jeff. Gordo's needs theme music.
Gordo's, the restaurant, the delicious food and the people and the atmosphere. Gordo's, not you personally, but Gordo's.
Yes,
I like
Gordo's, not me. I mean, of course, I would love to have people following me around playing music all the time.
Especially at Gordo's.
It's always in my head. But I need something for Gordo's. I need to have something special, something that, you know, heck, the King of the Hill has his own theme music. The Kids in the Hall. Why not me? Why not Gordo's?
Why not Gordo's? All right, I guess I'm going to be looking for some theme music.
You mean you're going to have Tom looking for some theme music?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yep, get on it, Tommy. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Short segment here, but should note, Irash fell at the top of next hour. He made time for us. Anything stand out really what Willie had to say earlier this hour? Not much, right? Just sort of a bland.
Mostly injury kind of stuff,
I
right?
mean,
That's
I'm
all you
not
care about
ripping
at that
him. Yeah,
point.
I mean, just-
It's James is starting, but Alex is going to play. So what we figured on, if James was healthy against Louisville, will be the case on the road to Clemson. And then Juwan Williams, they're assessing. He's been practicing, but they don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to even comment on it because I don't think it makes any difference whatsoever.
We've been so shaky with procedure, false starts, lining up wrong penalties the last 2 weeks with that crowd noise. List among many potential problems that.
Yeah, I don't know what we're going to do to offset these horrific mismatches up front. I don't know what you can do there. And here's my greatest concern from the game, and it is such a defeatist attitude, and it's the wrong thing to come in with on a Monday as you try to get yourself built up for this game because traditionally you'd be excited about it. But I just hope that whatever bonding has taken place, whatever sort of sacrifice and commitment to one another that was clearly evident over the last 2 weeks as they got a little bit better, not a lot better, a little bit better, won the games they were supposed to win, found a little something in the fourth quarter against Louisville after nearly throwing it away again, obviously dominating NC State despite a terrible first quarter, really kind of offsetting that with good play calling and scheming around a glaring mismatch. Our offensive line, once again, getting taken advantage of up front by NC State. That does certainly produce, I think, some confidence where it would have been lacking. And they did slow down the run. They've gotten better at that. A little bit more assignment sound. I just hope none of that goes out the window if this goes terribly wrong. If this goes the way that we think it looks like it might on paper. That because you do have a really important game the following week, Prime time against Wake Forest,
Hey,
baby.
that's news from today.
There we go.
7:30 p.m.
7:30. Snuggy Hill, we're coming for you on a Saturday night.
On the ACC network.
There you go. Looks like you'll be out there at Hangar 38 with us because you surely can't watch it at the house.
Back-to-back weeks, playing some video games.
Let's get it on. Irashafel, warchant.com up next.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
In here.
Hi, Chris Kraft for Kraft Nissan. Look around. That's right, you see Nissans everywhere. Tallahassee has officially become a Nissan town. The Kraft Nissan town. Why? Because Kraft Nissan has the best pricing, best selection, and the best buying experience in town. And at Kraft Nissan, you get the best value for your dollar. With more standard features, our exclusive and the original lifetime warranty, our easy choice menu that gives you a price and payment in writing, our new For You program that helps people with damaged credit, and every new Altima and Rogue we sell has both special interest rates and rebates. You get both, plus $1,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Best of all, my people are the best in the business. They will greet you with a smile and a handshake, and they know your time is valuable. My managers are always accessible, and of course, you can always ask for me or my brother Peter. Bottom line, if you need a new or pre-owned car, you need to experience the Kraft Nissan difference. Great people, great product, great price, with the best car buying experience in town. Kraft Nissan on Mahan Drive between Academy Sports and Costco. Remember, if you don't see the Kraft tag on your car, you paid too much, way too much.
There's no one like you. No one else with the life you live or body you were born with. Just you. GNC for You is personalized daily packs delivered to your door each month. Packs with your name on them. Filled with the industry's best vitamins and supplements. A regimen designed for the goals you have, built around a profile we developed from answers provided by you. And it's from GNC, a name you trust. Don't take someone else's vitamins. You don't need to, because there's GNC for You. Take the free quiz at GNCforyou.com.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
It's been many months since Hurricane Michael devastated our area. Many people are still dealing with the damages and finding it hard to get a local contractor to contact them. Are you struggling with getting assistance to fix your damages? Are you feeling like your insurance company is not being fair? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, we can help. My name is Travis, owner of T-Spark Enterprises, and I'm asking you to give us a call today for your free consultation. Let my company guide you through the process to get your home back to normal.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204. I know you know this, and you probably have already suggested it, and maybe she's already had it. But, Tom, I'm bringing your girlfriend into the fold to talk about Bumpa's Local.
Don't you bring her in here.
I'm telling you now that she would love the ahi salad.
Oh, yes.
Did I get it right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
that was
delicious.
That was the first thing she ever tried, and now anytime we are in the neighborhood, which is a capital circle right between I-10 and Centerville. Like
you're
right
giving
in
the people
there.
the location for Bumpa's Local 349.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. I like it.
Yes.
They have delicious food. I like tacos. You can't screw up tacos, but they do really good tacos.
I am a big fan of the Uncle Sal because the Uncle Sal is sausage, peppers, and onions. You can't go wrong with that trio, man.
You like the peppers and onions more than I do.
It must be like a New York thing. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Everybody's a little bit Italian because they're coming from New York, because the peppers and onions isn't exactly Irish
I like
cuisine.
It when they're cooked up like that.
Oh,
yeah,
it's
like
hard to beat. A little mustard? Yeah.
I'm forever going to champion the wings and the Cobb salad. It's Bumpa's Local 349. They got live music. They've got a number of televisions and, of course, tasty beverages, man. Good stuff.
Driving every day from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios. This is 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee. Time now for your Atlanta Braves Minute. Brought to you by Fonville, Lewis, Messer, and McConaughey. Personal injury law is all they do.
Game 3 of the National League Division Series belongs to the Braves as Mike Soroka gave Atlanta 7 strong innings, and the Braves bats came alive with a 3-run rally in the 9th inning to beat the Cardinals by a 3-1 score. It was Dansby Swanson who tied it up, and Adam Duvall took it from there.
Pitch on the way. Out towards center field. Will it fall in? It will! Ortega scores. Here comes Dansby. The throw is wild. The Braves have the lead. And standing at second is Duvall. What a come-from-behind effort in the ninth for Atlanta. Third base dugout is on fire right now. And Atlanta strikes for 3 here in the ninth. This place is stunned.
Mark Melancon worked the ninth for his second save of the series. Monday, it's Game 4 of the NLDS up in St. Louis. Dallas Keuchel expected to face Dakota Hudson of the Redbirds. First pitch at Busch Stadium is set for 3:07 Eastern, 2:07 Central. I'm Grant McCauley with your Atlanta Braves Radio Networking update.
Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey sponsors Braves baseball so that all of you can enjoy the action. Ever since the days of Hank Aaron and Dale Murphy, we've been Tallahassee's home run hitting law firm. And because we don't get paid unless we win, we want to win every case as much as Chipper Jones wanted to win every game. So when you're injured, don't just trust any law firm to handle your case. Make the call to the bullpen for a trusted closer. To see our stats on the back of our baseball card, visit wrongfullyinjured.com. Fonville, Lewis, Messer, McConaughey. Personal injury law is all we do.
Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio. Man Cave Monday, brought to you by Tallahassee Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, Fiat. Right on the corner and always right on the price. Check out the latest 2019 inventory at TallahasseeDCJ.com today.
Cameron Show 97.9 ESPN Radio. Hello. Hope you are well. I know this is an odd time to be locked into this show, but baseball is on the horizon. The Braves, 3:07 start time. We carry that game. It is a chance to clinch, after all, for Atlanta. So that is coming your way in about an hour. We'll take you right up into that first pitch. Literally, we're going to stay over just past 3 and take you right up to first pitch. We didn't figure it would be a good look to take the day off on a Monday leading up to the Clemson game, and so we figured out a way to get this in here and do some JCS content while we could, and also make room for the Atlanta Braves playoffs. Good chance to clinch. Not going to miss that. You hoping for a fifth game?
No, because I'd like to talk at 5 o'clock on a Wednesday, of Clemson week, but we'll see. I'm sure Braves fans agree with me.
We're online, ESPNTallahassee.com. By the way, if you missed that first hour because you didn't know it was on with the strange scheduling quirk, the YouTube feed is up and running. Go back, find it there. We're going to put it up on iTunes like we always do. All the normal ways to find the show are available to you today as we're again, making do with what we can. Let's bring in our friend Ira Schafel, warchant.com. Talk to him a little bit. How are you, Ira?
I'm good, Jeff. You want me to break down the Braves roster or the pitching rotation, anything like that?
No, don't want you to break that down. But, I am supposed to probably talk to you about Florida State Clemson, but I'm much more interested in your observations from the basketball court, buddy. You went to the scrimmage, and I'm all pumped about it. We'll get to it last. Save it for last, but I am going to segue there, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, so last we talked was Seminole headlines, and you and I were both terribly off, and Corey was right, and we'll have to own it on tomorrow's show. But the spread is a robust 27.5. Vegas just double middle fingers Florida State with that line. And how do you feel on a Monday? Do you still feel as emboldened as you did last week on a Tuesday?
I'm not conceding anything. The question was, will it be over 28.5? And we scoffed because it was not going to be over 28.5, and it was not over 28. We cashed that ticket, Jeff Cameron.
We did
cash. I'm not conceding anything.
We did cash the ticket, but it was a point off.
Yeah,
but it's still a win.
It's a big number, buddy. It's a big number. You know, you can look at it two ways, though. On the one hand, you could say it may be the biggest point spread that Florida State has ever seen as an underdog, which it may be. I mean, the only recorded history I know of is back into the late 70s, and up to that point, Florida State's never been a greater than 25 or 25.5 point underdog. It may have happened in the 60s or 70s. I can't verify that, but that's one way to look at it. Another way to look at it is that, Clemson was about a 28-point favorite at Syracuse and about 27-point favorite at North Carolina. So clearly Vegas thinks more of Florida State than they do of Syracuse, North Carolina. So that's because this is a road game, so, you give them a little bit of credit there.
I like it. I'm trying to just find it, removing the spread from the equation here. I'm just trying to find a path, a way in which Florida State could win the game. And I have a hard time doing it if I'm being completely objective. But the way all upsets happen would have to be how this one happens, which is that the heavily favored team doesn't take its opponent serious, doesn't respect the game, kind of comes in, goes through the motions, provides a little momentum for the underdog who begins to believe, maybe turns the ball over a couple of times in the first half, and all of a sudden you're into the third quarter and it's a close game, a la North Carolina versus Clemson just a couple weeks ago. My problem is that I fear that North Carolina game would certainly lead to them tightening some things up, and that would likely be an eye-opening experience. But then again, the one we've talked about, and I talked about it again today, and Tom and I have discussed it, you and I have too, the 2014 Noles, after winning the national championship, never really woke up, went through the motions every week, had to pull it out in the second half frequently just because they didn't take the game very seriously. I don't know, maybe we could get lucky with that. Maybe Clemson's that way right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's a possibility. The problem with this game is, I wouldn't say I can't see a scenario, but the problem with it is the only scenario I see for Florida State to win this game is to just go all out and be very aggressive on both sides of the ball. I think that the only approach I've seen that seems to work against Trevor Lawrence is to really blitz him and hit him and really come after him and try to force him off his spot and disrupt his timing, which is something you can do, but it also opens you up to the possibility of giving up some big plays in the passing game. The other side of it is, or in the running game, the other side of it is, for Florida State to move the ball, I think we all know that this is an offense where they have to go tempo. They can't shorten the game. This isn't a Jimbo Fisher offense.
Nope.
Maybe the game, up there 4 years ago or so when, they try to shorten the game and do well with the running game and kind of keep Clemson's offense in check and just try to shorten the game and keep it close. And then maybe some game pressure gets on them. Florida State can't take that approach. They've got to be all out on both sides of the ball to give themselves a chance. And now that could work, but it also could lead to just getting bombed. And so that's the challenge to me in this game.
I'd take that risk, and I believe that's the way it's got to be for Florida State. I called for it very early in the season where I said, hey, once you commit to tempo, once you commit to running this offense that we're running, you have decided to forego time of possession. You've decided to forego any really other way of playing, and they have to do that because their offensive line is not good enough to block it up when the other team's set. The only way they can get Cam going and get this offense moving is to win first down in the run game with Cam Akers, and then you're able to play fast. They can't play it another way. Clemson will maul this offensive line. So play fast and hope you can win 55-52. Just play it.
Yeah,
just go out of control and just hope like hell you have the ball last.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think that's the only approach. Again, the downside of that is you're not gonna work your way into a backdoor cover. If you lose in that scenario, if it doesn't work for you, you could see a really ugly score, which has happened to Florida State before the last couple of years. So we'll see. I mean, I do think that you talked about Clemson's pass rush and Florida State's inability to protect the quarterback. I mean, I think the tempo can help that, but that obviously at the end of the day, you have to decide what you're going to do. And I asked Willie that today. Do you try to catch them in their blitzes and be aggressive and go five wides and really try to, hit some big plays, or do you keep 7 or 8 guys in and try to max protect and try to block them up? And he really didn't answer that question from in terms of divulging what they plan to do, other than to say we got to block better than we have. But to me, it's going to come down to that. Do you want to leave in your tight ends and backs and try to give your quarterback some time, or you kind of go empty and try to take some shots? I'm curious to see how they handle that.
Yeah, it's a weird scenario, and it's a reminder, of course, of just where this program's at and where Clemson ascended to really post-2014 when Florida State had it rolling and looked like the team to beat for the foreseeable future. It's all shifted, and you're reminded of it in a really what I feel like is a disheartening way, a dispiriting way, because nobody wearing the garnet and gold should feel like before a Florida State-Clemson game that there is very little hope to win a football game on the road against them, and to feel like you're so mismatched. And it's just it's tough because you have to fight through that, but you don't want to lie to people. We're not here to come on the air and just say, hey, I like Florida State this week because I want them to win. The truth is I don't know how they get there, but I do think this, and I want to ask you this before we move forward, which is no matter what happens, I don't think they'll be broken. I don't think Florida State is the same team they were a year ago. That's something that has changed. Like, they could get beat. Let's worst case scenario, get beat 55-21 or something. If that happens, I think they'll be ready to play the following week at Wake Forest. And I think that's important because fans may not, they may not be willing to accept that that's the situation for us right now, but what they're really not willing to accept is that a loss like that means another year in which they don't go to a bowl and the team packs it in.
Yeah, I agree with you. I don't think that I don't think it's going to crush them no matter what happens in that game. And I think you got to be impressed by the way that they've come back specifically from that ULM game, even though they won it. It was so ugly. I think that was an opportunity for them to lay down. Well, Willie Taggart made an interesting comment today, I thought, in the press conference when he talked about how he feels like this team is one of the things they need to learn is to not just play up to the competition. And it sounded like he was saying he thinks that's been a problem for this program for the last couple of years. And I could argue that you can make an argument that that's the case. But if he's saying that, that makes you believe that, and he should have his finger on the pulse of this team more than anybody. Then he expects them to play really well this week. His point was they need to play at a high level every week, regardless of opponent. And he didn't think they did that against ULM or Boise. And so. That's something I'm curious. I thought that was a kind of a revealing comment, and to me it makes it sound like he thinks they're going to give their best effort. And if they do, they can play with Clemson. Again, that score last year to me was not indicative of the talent disparity in the two teams. It was one team that just kind of fell apart and they were done. Once things started going poorly, they just checked out. I don't think he thinks that's going to happen with this team this year. So, again, I'm not saying there's a moral victory to only lose by 17 or 20 or 24, but you can tell a difference between what happened last year and what happens in a game where you actually compete for 4 quarters.
Are you in agreement with me here that their best chance is for James Blackman, who we know is going to start, to really play and play well? Because I think this is a disaster for Alex Hornibrook if he plays in this game. And I like what he's brought to the team. I think he's needed moving forward. This matchup does not favor him. You don't want these passing windows to be so tight and shrunk by the fact they don't have to respect the whole field. You need James Blackman out there to make Clemson defend the whole field.
Yeah, I could make that case, but I also think that James is so kind of up and down a little bit emotionally that I like the idea of him knowing ahead of time, hey, man, we're not going to bench you, but we do want to see what Alex can do. And if things start going poorly, if he has a series or 2 in a row, where he looks like he's not seeing things, you give him a little time to sit back and watch. I think that could help James. We'll see. Whether or not Hornibrook comes in and lights it up or not, just giving James a few minutes to kind of collect himself, I think could be a positive. But the bottom line is, man, and I actually just was looking this up earlier today, in these last 4 games, if you add up Florida State's quarterback numbers in these last 4 games, it's incredibly awful. They haven't had a good quarterback performance against Clemson since Sean McGuire in the Jameis' suspended game. And that wasn't a huge game. It was just a solid game. But they've had awful quarterback play these last 4 years. They get sacked a ton of times. And, it's hard to predict that that's going to change right now, no matter who's the quarterback, because of what we talked about earlier with the offensive line play.
Yeah, in a nutshell, you summarize the two programs. If you'd like to boil it down to one thing, they've had elite quarterback play for years now, and it's awfully nice to replace Deshaun Watson. Excuse me,
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson with what they have now. It's just remarkable what they've been able to run out there. Even when Kelly Bryant was out there, I mean, they've had really good quarterback play. Florida State hasn't had a good quarterback since Jameis Winston. And it's just, that's bottom line. They haven't. They've had guys that are kind of just holding it down because somebody has to. But they haven't had an elite quarterback, and Clemson just has. And then, of course, the offensive line just exacerbates that situation because they're not good enough to block it up even for an average quarterback. So moving forward, let's look at Florida State basketball. If just for a second, you did go to a Sunday scrimmage, and I do want to get your observations on this while I have you. A couple of things stand out. For those that haven't read the article, go read it, warchant.com, the website. I'm really excited to watch a completely healthy and in-shape Trent Forrest because I think he's one of the smartest players that Florida State's had as a floor general at that position, maybe in Leonard Hamilton's entire time here. He is that kind of smart. He sees things and controls things, plus there's the talent to go with it. He's not a great shooter. Give me your observations of Trent Forrest, what you saw at the scrimmage. I know I read that you said he was in better shape. That stands to reason if he's healthier.
Yeah, it's funny, man. When we were sitting there watching him yesterday, I actually made a comment to somebody I was sitting next to that, I don't know the last time I've loved a player the way they play the game like Trent Forrest. I mean, maybe Tony Douglas, but in a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, Trent is just, and it's at both ends of the floor. There was a play early on where, he's guarding. I think he was guarding. I can't remember who the point guard was on the other. I think it might have been Anthony Polite, was bringing the ball up, and Trent's picking him up full court. And Polite tries to kind of get to the left sideline to try to get around him. And Trent shuffling his feet and gets in front of him. And before he even gets to the spot, he yells, "Nope." Just like, and it just cracked me up because he's at that level where he sees what the opponent's going to do before they do it. He knows where everybody's going to be. He's just so smart. I mean, you touched on it. He's just so smart. And then you add into it, his body control, the way he finishes around the basket, and just the way he controls the game. It's really, I'm really looking forward to this year. And like you said, I mean, you just hope he really finally has that injury-free year. He does look noticeably leaner. When you see him, you'll be like, man, Trent. I mean, he didn't look like a guy that needed to lose a lot of weight, but you see him, and it's like, man, he's definitely in a lot better shape than he's ever been. And, man, I'm just looking forward to watching him play. He's at that level where you can tell everything is going slow around him, and he's just seeing it before it actually happens.
The last guy that really ran it the way that we see Trent run it when he's right is Nate Johnson. Like you think back about that. That's like, what was that, 2003? Something like that? I mean, you got to go back a long ways. And to have a guy who understood it, he didn't have the same ability. You know what I mean? But he got it. He understood it. I loved watching him. Well, I think that season, and we can't spend an inordinate amount of time on basketball today. I get it. And we'll have time down the line. But I really think how MJ Walker plays is going to be huge because I trust Devin Vassell. I know he's going to play well. So that guy's just going to continue to emerge. But I don't trust MJ Walker. Tough Love Cameron has to make an appearance early. So I'm here for you right now. Tell me MJ Walker is going to be a much more consistent element to this basketball team, because if he's good, and when he's good, he's really good. It's just that he is so up and down. He's a yo-yo.
He is, and it's hard to say what you're gonna get every night out. But I would say, the one opportunity we saw yesterday, he looked great. He shot it well, but more importantly, I just thought he was so engaged, and you could see a guy that is a junior now, and I'm sure they've challenged him to be more of a leader, but he was very vocal. I mean, just constantly. Not just, complimenting guys when they did something right, but also getting on guys when they did something wrong, which is, you can do that a good way and you can do it a bad way. Sometimes it can be taken as not constructive, but I thought he did a really good job of it. There were a couple different scenarios where you saw him. One time he was really mad because Balsa, the young freshman center, didn't call out a screen, and he just got decapitated by Dominic, the kid from Ole Miss. And
Jack.
Yeah, I'm not trying. But MJ was really mad about that, and he let him know about it. But then later there was a play where the freshman small forward Patrick
Williams.
Patrick Williams.
Yeah.
He missed it. He airballed a three from the wing. And after that scrimmage was over, it was right before the end of the one period of the scrimmage. And when it was over, MJ came back with him to the same spot and basically was like, I'm going to feed it to you again, and I want to see you knock it down. And he passed him again, and Patrick didn't make it, but the next time he did. Like, he just went over it with him again. He wanted to end on a good note. It was just, again, a subtle thing that you're going to get some leadership out of him, which is important because, again, you lost six seniors from last season.
Probably telling that we're talking basketball. And I didn't even get to ask you about my man Raekwon Gray needing to take it to the sand pits. Good Lord, he still hadn't lost any weight? What is that? Leonard's going to have a field day with him.
We'll see, man. We'll see. I know he has said he's lost a little bit of weight. I didn't see it when I saw him yesterday. I mean, he made such an improvement from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah.
That maybe I was expecting more. But to me, he doesn't look like a guy yet who's going to be able to play 25, 30 minutes, which, man, with his talent, I think he's a guy you'd like to be on the floor that much. But I looking at him physically yesterday, I don't know that he's a guy that you're going to be able to play more than 20 minutes. And, they've got a lot of other pieces. They've got a lot of other nice weapons. But I'd like to see him. I mean, I'd love to see him in a little bit better shape because I'd like to see him on the floor more.
We'll talk about this more tomorrow when we do Seminole Headlines. Appreciate you making time for me today, buddy. Be well.
See you, Jeff.
All right, take care. I mean, how the hell do I just, talk basketball there for the last 8 minutes and not bring up Wyatt Wilkes or Anthony Polite?
How do you do it? You do it the right way. That's how you do it.
Hey, actually, I think they'll get something out of Wyatt this year. He can shoot.
Okay. That's fine. If he's a rotational piece.
He's not.
I'm leaning on the Wyatt Wilkes offense.
No, Devin is your guy. I mean, besides, obviously, Trent is.
In December last year, I was like,
that guy we both circled right away. We came in and compared notes, and he was the first guy we talked about.
Something about, near
that
the basket.
Dude right there is not afraid.
He gets spacing around the basket. Very, very instinctive.
Trent's just freaking awesome. I get giddy talking about Trent. He's the kid that sacrifices and does all the little things in addition to having the talent. It's exciting.
I hope Balsa Steele's good.
I don't think he's going to be good in year 1.
Probably not.
Most of these guys aren't. They get lost on the defensive end. They get lost on the defensive end.
Every basket he makes this year, if you're at the TLC-CC, you're going to hear in the distance upstairs, the executive level.
Yeah, in the executive suite.
Balsa Steele.
Yeah, you'll hear it. That's right. We'll be toasting Balsa. It's Jeff Garrett.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
1401 Market Street and their new location, Midtown 926 North Monroe.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left.
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
You see them all around town. Cintas trucks and their service reps taking care of customers. When companies use Cintas, you know they're confident and ready. Cintas helps with their fire protection and first aid and safety programs, handles their apparel solutions, and helps keep their facility and restrooms clean and stocked. So you know those companies care about their employees, facilities, and image. When all those things work together, they're ready for business.
Oh, I'm ready!
Get Cintas and get ready for the workday.
Hardee's new Monster Roast Beef Sandwich is stacked with slow-cooked roast beef, slices of crispy applewood smoked bacon, all covered in layers of melted cheese. This tasty triple threat is kind of like an epic no-hands backflip on a wild Mustang while spearing a great white shark. How you got a wild horse out in the middle of the ocean isn't important. What's important is that the new Monster Roast Beef Combo with fries and a Dr. Pepper is only available at Hardee's.
Available for limited time after regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's. Dr. Pepper is a registered trademark of Dr. Pepper 7-Up, Inc.
Times can be tough, but getting a late model car is easy at Champion Auto Sales. Champion Auto Sales can quickly approve you, no matter how bad your credit. Bankruptcy, repossessions, bad credit, no credit. Champion Auto Sales can have you riding today. Give them a call at 850-999-8395 or visit them on the web at championautofl.com. Their brand is quality and credit approval is guaranteed. Champion Auto Sales, 2754 West Tennessee Street across from TCC. Stop by today.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature Which, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Lane's Medical Shop has all of your home medical needs. They carry home oxygen, hospital beds, nebulizers, walkers, wheelchairs, orthotics, diabetic shoes, and all sleep apnea supplies. Lane's also has a weight loss clinic in-house, no appointment necessary, including B12 injections and any prescriptions necessary with the lowest prices around, and delivers to Tallahassee in South Georgia. Located only 40 miles from Tallahassee, go see Blake today, 210 West Main Street, Colquitt, Georgia, 229-758-9111.
Who's ready for the best wings in Tally and locally brewed beers? Hobbit American Grill is the place to be. They've been voted Tally's best wings again in 2018. Hobbit offers Bingo Mondays, happy hour all-day Fridays with craft beers on tap from all the local breweries. And the Hobbit is your home for all the UFC fights with plenty of high-def TVs for everyone. Be on the lookout for the food truck coming soon with the best lip-smacking wings in town. Hobbit American Grill, celebrating 40 years of serving great food to great friends for good times. For info on their hours and 3 locations, visit them online at myhobbitonline.com.
Hey, Jeff, what's going on, man?
Hello, Eddie. How the heck are you, buddy?
I'm okay. I guess we got to do this commercial.
Time for the bantering to begin.
Yeah, but you know what, Jeff? I want something different now.
You don't want to banter anymore.
I enjoy the banter. I do. But I want theme music, Jeff. Gordo's needs theme music.
Gordo's, the restaurant, the delicious food and the people and the atmosphere. Gordo's, not you personally, but Gordo's.
Yes,
I like
Gordo's, not me. I mean, of course, I would love to have people following me around playing music all the time.
Especially at Gordo's.
It's always in my head. But I need something for Gordo's. I need to have something special, something that, you know, heck, the King of the Hill has his own theme music. The Kids in the Hall. Why not me? Why not Gordo's?
Why not Gordo's? All right, I guess I'm going to be looking for some theme music.
You mean you're going to have Tom looking for some theme music?
Yeah, I heard that.
Yep, get on it, Tommy. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Segue into the weekend that was with a little Who's Hot, Who's Cold, brought to you by our friends at Berno Heating and Air Conditioning. Cue it up.
It's time for Who's Hot?
It's so damn hot.
Who's Cold?
Looks like she's going to turn cold tomorrow. Oh, yeah. Got a front coming in. Yeah, you got that right.
Who's hot? Who's cold? Berno Heating and Air Conditioning. You know how much we love them in the Cameron household, but also here at the ESPN family, Tom, is, well, obviously that satellite runs hot.
It can. The bunker can be 105 degrees if we don't take care of it correctly. And so we like the bunker to be in good shape so that we and the hamster wheel survive. Need the hamster to keep on hamstering.
And if you've got problems at the house, that ain't a good thing since it's perpetually hot. Give them a call today, 850-580-4029, or visit BernoAC.com. There you go. All right, who's hot, who's cold? Let's start with hot. Teddy Bridgewater, good on you, young man. I do like the kid. After the devastating, really life-altering knee injury there was a chance he nearly lost a leg. You remember how crazy that was? I mean,
could have lost his life, too, because of the bleeding.
Yeah, it was a weird injury. Now, admittedly, Teddy hasn't looked that good prior to facing the Bucs because he's been a check down Charlie. But he made do when facing the Bucs secondary, which does not cover anybody. Oh, did he? 26 of 34, 314 passing yards, 4 touchdowns. That'll work in a 31-24 win over the Bucs.
So they did what all teams do to the Bucs to start games. They found the matchup with the tight end, and they took advantage of us. Both tight ends had early production. And once we kind of, sort of, maybe shut that down, they said, oh, yeah, 28's out there, Vernon Hargraves. Let's pick on his ass. And so they did.
Yeah, Michael Thomas is like, you can't guard me, little man. You got nothing for me.
Reminded me of Rondé Barber versus Terrell Owens years ago.
Humiliating. 11 catches on 13 targets for 182 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's kind of like, we can do this all day. They're not like giving him any help, and he can't play against bad receivers, and I'm pretty good.
So the Bridge made one killer throw, though, when they had to have it. It was a 3rd and long from his own end zone, and that was the backbreaker. We had a chance in the flow of the game to get some field position going, and the throw he makes, I mean, he does still have those. 3 or 4 of them a game where you go,
and he may get more and more comfortable and start getting the ball downfield. I mean, there's some quarterbacks in this league that I don't care how much time you give them, they're never going to throw the ball down the field. Marcus Mariota, 13 of 22 for 180 yards, no touchdowns, and a 14-7 loss to the Bills would be an example of cold. Just not going to do it.
Just like Jacksonville and Tennessee is typically a field goal battle, who was surprised by the fact that it was 7-7 in the waning moments of Buffalo, Tennessee yesterday?
I took the Bills. It'll work out for you. That's the Bills have a legitimately good defense. Doing what they did to the Patriots and then watching, I thought, well, if Tom Brady can't move the ball against the Bills, I doubt Marcus Mariota will. That was my bet there. You know who does move the ball just about against everybody because he's really good, and we never hit a greater home run on this show than when you and I were screaming from the mountaintops that Russell Wilson was likely the best quarterback on that draft, and he didn't go to the 3rd round, and we were screaming for the Bucs to get him at the time. 17 of 23, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns in that win against the Rams, and he's unconventional, man. Nothing's on time. Nothing's in rhythm. No. Everything's a broken play.
But if there's a football-sized window and somebody like a Tyler Lockett or Doug Baldwin in years past, they're open, he'll hit them.
He's good,
and
man.
you go, how did this just happen?
Well, it's annoying if you're playing defense against him because you get him off his spot, and actually now you're in trouble.
That was the same thing with Jameis yesterday. Jameis was a little shaky to start the game, and the Godwin touchdown, the first one of the game.
They got him off his spot. He stepped up in the pocket. Looks like he's going to run, and then boom.
He's climbing, and I'm going, well, if he's throwing the ball here, it's going to be accurate. I thought he was just going to take the yards in front of him. But once it left his hand, you don't feel danger when Jameis is on the move. Same thing with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, Russell is unbelievable. And he's just effortless. It just doesn't – he's such an athlete. Deshaun Watson, 28 of 33. Everybody benefits when they play the Falcons defense. This is remarkable. Stat line, 426 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. They scored 53 points against the Falcons. Falcons suck. That's just great. There's that.
The old 158-3 in the quarterback rating game, too, for Deshaun.
That'll hurt your feelings. Cole Devonta Freeman, also with the Falcons, 11 carries, 30 yards, 2.7 yards per rush. Not going to get it done.
Braves fans are like, wow, some pregame show, guys. Thanks. Give me Ben Ingram. I don't need to hear this about the Falcons.
Will Fuller had a day. 14 catches on 16 targets for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. By the way, your guy made an appearance yesterday. I wanted you to note that Colt McCoy did play.
He did play.
He had 119 yards passing and 1 interception. QBR of 20.
He played. That's right. He was active. He was active.
He was there. Not a fair match. Hey, you know what? We had it wrong last week. I got to bring this up. I picked the Dolphins' first win in Week 4. They play the Jets. They play the Washington next.
Yes, they do.
Oh, they're going to beat Washington. They'll get their win next weekend. Washington's awful. And I got it right. Well, that was an easy one to get right. Gruden's gone.
Yeah.
It's not going to matter. They can fire. They need to fire the owner.
It's an elimination game of sorts. Now, what if they tied at 6? 6-6.
That would be great. We'd be locked in.
You could have 2 0-15-1 teams this year.
You need somebody. If it's tied at 6, you need somebody to miss a 30-yard chip shot to win it. And then it's tied at 6, and somebody comes running onto the field. That's in the overtime.
It's like the Frank Beamer 0-0 celebration.
Like running out there to say, we didn't lose.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
The road. Join us at Hangar 38 in Bannerman Crossing, the exclusive watch party headquarters for 97.9 ESPN Radio, Tallahassee's sports monster.
Hey, I'm Jeff Doxey, Realtor for Capital Property Consultants, representing Premier Fine Homes. If you're thinking of owning your own brand new Premier home, call or text me at 850-545-4747 or email me, jeffdoxey1@gmail.com. You say where, I'll be there. Your Canopy Connection.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
Can you hear it? There's no better tradition in all of sports than 80,000 Noles doing the war chant. Now is your chance to be a part of that. Single game tickets are on sale now as the Noles welcome in all alumni for homecoming inside Doak Campbell Stadium as Syracuse comes to Tallahassee Saturday, October 26th. See Florida State football live in person. Call 888-FSU-NOLE or visit Seminoles.com today.
Sellers Tile does it better for business owners, contractors, designers, and homeowners. Better design ideas, better quality tile, carpet, and hardwood flooring, better mosaics, ceramic, and vinyl solutions. And Sellers makes it easier with their amazing showroom and first-class professionals. Maybe it's time to get Sellers working for you on Capitol Circle Northeast, just north of Mahan Drive, or online at sellerstile.com for better style, quality, and design. Go with Sellers in Tallahassee. Call 656-8453.
The Friday Night Lights are back on Tallahassee's Sports Monster. Catch a full season of high school football action on 97.9 ESPN Radio in broadcast partnership with a Varsity Sports Network. High school football on 97.9 ESPN Radio is brought to you by Barano Heating and Air Conditioning. Whatever your heating or cooling needs, turn to the experts at Barano Heating and Air Conditioning, 580-4029, and online at baranoac.com.
Chuck Oliver here, and there's no better place to watch football this season than Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, located at 926 North Monroe Street. On the corner of 3rd Monroe, Cigars of Tally is the perfect place to kick back and enjoy your favorite cigars and ice-cold beer. The Diamond Crown Lounge offers countless options, including J.C. Newman, Arturo Fuente, Padron, Drew Estate, Ashton, and many more. Watch your teams on sparkling 4K TVs and seating areas made for comfort and luxury relaxation. Check out the private conference rooms and the spacious patio for your next watch party and fantasy draft. Cigars of Tally Lounge and Bar, 926 North Monroe Street. Get your ash in here.
Times can be tough, but getting a late model car is easy at Champion Auto Sales. Champion Auto Sales can quickly approve you, no matter how bad your credit. Bankruptcy, repossessions, bad credit, no credit. Champion Auto Sales can have you writing today. Give them a call at 850-999-8395 or visit them on the web at championautofl.com. Their brand is quality and credit approval is guaranteed. Champion Auto Sales, 2754 West Tennessee Street across from TCC. Stop by today.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, TSparkConstruction.com.
Are you starting a new business or expanding your business? Looking for the right general contractor to assist you with the tenant space build-out? Look no further. From restaurant to retail, we have the experience to work with you. At T-Spark Enterprises, we are ready to be a part of your vision and build a space that exceeds your expectations. Whether you're looking for design build or build from your own design, give us a call today for a free consultation. As the owner of T-Spark Enterprises, I guarantee when it comes to your business space, we only provide picture-perfect results.
Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, tsparkconstruction.com.
License number CGC 1525336.
The Jeff Cameron Show podcast, available on demand at ESPNTallahassee.com and on iTunes today. The Jeff Cameron Show podcast is brought to you by Garnet and Gold of Tallahassee. When you buy FSU apparel, support local business. GarnetandGold.com. Broadcasting live from the Tallahassee Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat Studios in the capital city of Tallahassee. This is the Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
News if you have the Rays in the first 5 innings. Just saying.
Now, why would he suggest that?
5-1 Rays in the fourth. Got a run and a half to play with, too, if you took that wager. Just saying.
I like how MLB was unabashed looking at Tampa St. Pete and saying, you don't ever go to games. So when we're going to stagger 4 in a row.
We're going to put you on at 1.
You get the 1 p.m.
You get
slot.
the 1 o'clock game, gang. Well, don't look now. It goes from bad to worse in Tampa, meaning the Buccaneers. The entire right side of the line will be new when they face Carolina in London. London games suck anyhow. But Alex Kappa deserves the You Are One Tough SOB award. My man broke his arm against the Saints in the second quarter and played the rest of the game. Not well, but that's
well, judging by the first off the bench to play right tackle for us, I can understand why he felt the need to stay out there with one good arm.
Old Kappa suffered the broken left arm, did not miss a snap after sustaining the injury in the second quarter. Quote from Bruce Arians, I commend Alex Kappa. He broke his arm in the second quarter, played the entire game. He's going to miss a few weeks, but it's next man up. In Kappa's place, the Buccaneers are likely turning to the backup guard, Earl Watford.
Sounds like a backup.
Mm-hmm. That'll hurt your feelings.
Also sounds like an all-pro player in 1956.
Oh, that Watford to hold it down.
Earl Watford, 4-time all-pro.
Bucs now scramble to keep the line intact as Kappa wasn't the only starter to go down. Arians adding today that starting right tackle Tamar Dotson will miss Week 6's game against Carolina as he has a hamstring issue.
So he had a calf issue in practice during the week, worked through it, and then obviously played through it. But, you know, these things are connected. So I guess there was overcompensation, and there goes the hammy.
And here we go.
And it's gone.
And it's gone. That kid playing for Cam is out there straight winning every game he starts now. Kyle Allen. He's like, yeah, I got this.
I think I'd have
OJ
and Cam Brate lined up between the right guard and right tackle, and then flanking the right tackle, but behind them. So you've got like a rhombus. It looks like a rhombus. And that's what's going to protect the backside.
What are they in, Johnny? The rhombus.
They won't be releasing into routes. Trust me. They're there to protect because Brian Burns is going to have 19 sacks if we don't do it.
They're in the rhombus. Oh, that's good. I like it. 2 offensive line starters out for your game in London against a team that you beat, but then has figured it out since you beat them. And is now looking like a team that is formidable in the conference, in the division, I should say, and you're kind of, okay then.
Well, we'll know by lunchtime if the season's over, and that's good.
Yeah, I am excited about tonight's Monday night game, but I'm going to have 2 TVs rolling tonight. It's rare on a Monday of Clemson week that I'm saying this, and we're not just hyper-focused on that game, but right now we're kind of blocking that game out to some degree, and you got a good Monday night game with San Fran and Cleveland, and then you've got baseball damn day. Into the night.
Loaded with sports.
It's glorious.
So many sports.
Saw the Lightning look terrible over the weekend.
Stamkos after the game. We too careless. You know, we're too careless.
He needs to stop talking.
Yes.
He just needs to stop talking. Every time he talks, I go, I'm starting to dislike you.
Sorry, boys, I did not have time to pack.
We got this.
It's right here, guys.
We got this.
I thought I could handle it.
We got this.
Moving doesn't have to be a hassle. Call us first at 2 Men and a Truck. No matter the move, home or business, we'll make it a smooth one.
I forgot something.
We got this.
From her first high school dance. As you pull away, it starts to rain. Hard. Thankfully, you have a new set of premium Trico wiper blades. Engineered for over 100 years to perform in any weather condition. With Trico's full line of premium beam blades, it also means you've got a clear line of sight for her first kiss, too. Hey, buddy. Head to your local Napa Auto Parts store for a set of premium Trico wiper blades. Trico, seeing you through.
It's bow time at Bojangles. Come in today for a 3 Chicken Supremes dinner for just $4.99. Each Chicken Supremes dinner comes with 3 of our bold, craveable chicken tenders, your choice of fixin', and a fresh buttery biscuit. Plus, you'll get a free legendary iced tea. For a limited time, get Bojangles 3 Chicken Supremes dinner with your choice of fixin' and a biscuit for just $4.99. And don't forget that free iced tea. Bojangles, it's bow time, y'all.
Come on, pick me!
Yoo-hoo! Pick me, pick me!
No, pick me!
Take your pick with the Florida Lottery Pick Daily Games. With Pick 2, Pick 3, Pick 4, and Pick 5, you could win top prizes from $50 to $50,000. And you have 2 chances to win every day. The Pick Daily Games from the Florida Lottery. It's your ticket.
Claim it!
Must be 18 or older to play. Play responsibly.
The Jeff Cameron Show podcast, available on demand at ESPNTallahassee.com and on iTunes today. The Jeff Cameron Show podcast is brought to you by Garnet and Gold of Tallahassee. When you buy FSU apparel, support local business. GarnetandGold.com.
Tallahassee loves the corner pocket as much as a crystal ball winning catch.
He's looking, he lost it to the end zone. It's Benjamin! Touchdown! With 13 seconds left!
The 97.9 ESPN radio special is a must-have every Monday and Wednesday at the corner pocket. 10 mouth-watering wings, a fresh side of fries, and a chilled domestic pint of beer are just $9.79 all day long. Be sure and try the fish blend of sauces, a true wing eater's favorite. The Corner Pocket Bar and Grill.
He's gone!
Home of Trivia Tuesday, Beer Bingo Thursday, and the daily $7.99 lunch special.
Just like football, when it comes to the court of law, you're going to need a solid defense. I'm Michael D. Blank, attorney with the Law Office of Jose Fernandez in Tallahassee. At the Law Office of Jose Fernandez, there is never an upfront fee, and if we don't recover, then you don't pay anything. Our team is dedicated to handling all types of accident, injury, negligence, malpractice, and wrongful death cases. If you're unable to come to us, we can come to you day or night. Call us now, 855-HOSE-305, for your free consultation today. The Law Office of Jose Fernandez. We don't get paid until you do. Offices, Tallahassee, Miami. JRFinjury.com. Go Noles.
One of my favorite things about being a member at Orange Theory Fitness is the sense of community. Initially, after taking the tour and seeing the state-of-the-art equipment, I was intrigued. I became convinced even once I researched the science-backed, technology-tracked, coach-inspired workouts, all of that. But what I didn't count on was the support, the sense of camaraderie shown by the members and the coaches. You realize pretty quickly you're not alone. And when you're pushing yourself through barriers and attempting to be your personal best, you can use all the help you can get. And it's there. It's amongst the members and coaches at Orange Theory Fitness. To learn more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
A heart in my tasty Honey Nut Cheerios? Cereal, you trying to tell me you love me?
Actually, it's reminding you that it can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Wait! They can help lower cholesterol? I've been so focused on the sweet, tasty taste that I completely forgot. Now I'm in love.
Learn more about making Honey Nut Cheerios part of your heart-healthy lifestyle by picking up a box at your local Publix.
Hi folks, Dierks Bentley here. Being on the go is a big part of my life. I love seeing new places, meeting new people, and performing all over the world. For energy on the go, for me, it's 5-Hour Energy. It works fast, works long, and it tastes good. With 0 sugar and 4 calories. Try it. It could work for your on-the-go life too. 5-Hour Energy. Energy on the go. For more information, visit 5hourenergy.com.
Time Moves can be tough, but getting a late model car is easy at Champion Auto Sales. Champion Auto Sales can quickly approve you, no matter how bad your credit. Bankruptcy, repossessions, bad credit, no credit. Champion Auto Sales can have you riding today. Give them a call at 850-999-8395 or visit them on the web at championautofl.com. Their brand is quality and credit approval is guaranteed. Champion Auto Sales, 2754 West Tennessee Street across from TCC. Stop by today.
This is the Jeff Cameron Show. Jeff Cameron Show on 97.9 ESPN Radio.
Yeah, really strange sort of timing with all of this, but we're doing our best. Not ideal when it's Florida State-Clemson week to have to alter schedule, but we're contractually obligated, if I can say it, to run Braves baseball. Hey, a chance to clinch. Chance to clinch here and call it a day after that thrilling win in the ninth. And, I like seeing the Cardinals in pain. I have to admit that things were going along swimmingly until they weren't.
Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of likable teams out there of the 8, and the Rays are down 2-0 in their series, as was kind of predictable.
Well, the Astros should win the World Series unless baseball gets in the way.
So you got the Yankees out there, the Braves, the Cardinals. For me, it's a lose-lose, but more of a lose if the Braves advance, which I think they're about to do tonight. And then the Dodgers, who are always there. They're like the Andy Reid Eagles. They're always the bridesmaid, never the bride, but will this be the year?
They exploded last night. I was watching all of those hits with 2 outs. That'll hurt your feelings with the 2 outs just over and over. You know how many 0-2 pitches? I mean, it's 0-2 pitch after 0-2 pitch. You're like, oh, that's a toughie.
Yeah.
So
it's like being in third and long and knowing your defense can't stop anybody. It's the same thing. You're like 0-2. Well, it's always 0-2. Doesn't matter. Here comes a hung slider.
Hey, speaking of which, can we revisit this again? It'll be the 3rd or 4th time I bring it up. I don't know. Jalen Ramsey's looking awfully good right about now, my man. Vernon Hargraves can't cover me, you, Matthew, anybody walking down the street. That's a gross mismatch. We've got to do something. I mean, I think.
And we were content to leave him on that island.
Oh,
okay, Todd.
Boy.
All right.
Okay. Well, you get a player thrown out for targeting, and then everybody has to switch roles, and we get Vernon into this back to where he had already failed us from day one, and he's got no chance. He can't cover him, and I mean, I'd have thrown it that way every single play. He's got zero chance to make. He got spun around like a top twice.
Well, yes, that one touchdown.
His technique is terrible. Yeah. He sucks. There's just, I don't know why in the world he's out there. It's
because he's the best option.
No,
that says everything you need to know about what we've done in terms of the picks and investing in the secondary back-to-back years in the draft. You wouldn't know it. You wouldn't know it.
Well, then go get a known commodity. Jalen Ramsey can cover him. I guarantee it. I mean, I don't know. I mean, gauge whether or not you could sign him long term. Obviously, that's the whole thing. He hates Jacksonville. He clearly doesn't want to be there. That you may have a position of strength to negotiate from here because he's made it miserable for them hanging out with Deshaun Watson after their game. It's just weird.
But he doesn't have a position of strength. Shad Khan doesn't care. He's like, nope, not trading him. So if he wants to sit and not play ball, I don't care. I'll pay him.
Maybe, because they've got other things going for them now in Jacksonville. This is a weird situation in Jacksonville. They have figured out their offense without Nick Foles. And they went away. See, so one of the things that you see going on now is they're getting something out of Leonard Fournette because they brought the fullback back. So now he's a deep eye, run downhill, throw off a play action with Minshew.
And there are shots down the field open, yes.
That's a better offense for them. They're moving the football, and Minshew's played well. You can't go to Foles when he comes back because then you have to change the offense. And you saw Fournette can't run that offense where he's offset like that. That's not what you do. He has to be downhill, lead fullback, let's go.
And Foles is going, good God.
I know, but their offense is moving. Now their defense is terrible. If I'm a Jacksonville fan, I'm like, really? I mean, look at this offense. They can move the ball consistently well.
Listen, the way the salary cap works, if you're down Telvin Smith and Jalen Ramsey, that's important.
Yeah.
It's
really
not
important.
good. You trade Dante Fowler last year. So 3 of those hallmark pieces that got you to the AFC Championship game
Yeah.
They're not there anymore.
No, they don't make stops on defense at all right now, but they can move the ball offensively. They're a problem. And now that you're salvaging something of Leonard Fournette's career, he looks like a new man running in this system. And they just kudos to them for changing their system, for just realizing, well, we can't run what we were going to run, so let's just get back. Let's just help the kid out. We got him in here.
That was a fascinating game, and I was watching.
Good Lord, McCaffrey's numbers are just.
Yeah, I was watching on multiple TVs at once, and holy cow, McCaffrey finally just gave in. His body gave out, I should say.
But that's just amazing.
The use was such. I mean, like it's an old cliche that you're going to use him and you're going to burn him out. In that game, in the scope of that game, you know the reason he came out? Did you see the official listing?
No, I didn't see it. Exhaustion?
General soreness.
Yeah.
That's the reason. You look at his jersey, he's over on the side. He's doing he's taking extra Gatorade, and he's doing the edible Gatorade thing to help with cramping.
Yeah.
He's getting massaged on the side, and then Bonifant breaks it for a touchdown. They say, you know what? It ain't worth it. If Jacksonville finds a way to come back, it ain't worth it. We've already pushed this man too far. He might die on the field.
I'm looking at those numbers. So he had 3 touchdowns. We already do that. 2 rushing, 1 receiving. Hit 7 touchdowns now on the year, 237 yards from scrimmage. It's the fourth time this season that he's eclipsed 175 yards from scrimmage. The only time he doesn't is against us, against the Bucs. And what's extraordinary is that the Bucs actually do shut down everybody's run game, which really ought to make it that much easier to defend against the pass, since teams cannot run the ball against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Yeah, quick note on McCaffrey, that 175, 4 out of 5 games. The only other player to ever do that?
Jim Brown.
1963.
Yeah,
Jim Brown.
Yeah, it's good company to be in. I mean, at the time he retired, he was considered the greatest player in the league's history.
The Buck game, if Sean Payton didn't get too cute, and he tried it with a toss pass on a 3rd and short, which he always does. That's how they lost the Vikings game with the Diggs thing. That game would have been over with 2 scores. There wouldn't have been the 1% chance that the Vikings had if Payton didn't get cute in that NFC divisional game. But this game was over for the Bucs, I thought, 3 drives in, because we threw the kitchen sink at that offensive line they protected. There was no pressure whatsoever, and it was like, oh, God, you got no chance.
Well, and I think that, in truth, all these coaches fall victim to being too cute, because I would argue through the first 5 games of the year, there's no better coach in the league than Sean Payton, because of what he's done with Teddy Bridgewater and what that team has done in winning these football games on the road, at home, you name it. They haven't missed a beat. He's just remarkable, and he's really good at home. What makes me mad is Mike Evans gets completely shut down. He's useless, and he looked like he was going through the motions once he realized, once again, that he can't get open.
Yeah.
And so you have a situation where they were, in essence, playing big nickel. And that's what they played. There's just big nickel the whole game. And nobody can get open. And so you're in deep trouble, like you said early on. Then you really don't run the ball that well, and that creates a nightmare.
Well, to me, yeah, the way the game is flowing, I'm thinking, all right, if New Orleans doesn't get cute here and they decide, you know what, Kamara's an amazing player, but not this week. We'll use him in the passing game. We're not going to run the football anymore. Not one time. Like, after halftime, if I'm New Orleans, I don't run the football one singular time until we need to run the clock out. Now, they did a little bit, and we did get a big stop, but the offense couldn't do anything. It's a 3rd and 2, and it's a ridiculous call.
Well, we're good at 3rd and 2
we
ridiculous
are good
calls.
at 3rd and 2s.
By the way, so I looked it up because I seem to remember Evans struggling with Marshawn Lattimore in the past, and I was like, well, I need to go back and look at those numbers. Lattimore owns Evans. Owns him, and he was in singles.
Yeah, but that's such a spastic team, man. That they're so. I mean, you look at New Orleans for stretches the last 3 or 4 years. Nobody can cover anybody in that secondary.
And now they can, because my goodness.
But they come and they go. Like, it wouldn't be a shocker in December. They got a big game. Something's on the line. Maybe it's to clinch the division or whatever, and they give up 400 or 500 yards. There are times when they don't have an answer in the secondary, and yesterday they covered us unbelievably well.
Oh, Lattimore in particular. I mean, and he owns Evans one-on-one. That's just a bad matchup. Sometimes there are matchups like that, and they know it. And so if we have to go against him in an important game, well, we can't count on Evans.
Well, and then by the time you get into the second half, it's just instant pressure on every play.
6 sacks. I mean, he's getting killed on every play, and it's because you're predictable. You couldn't run the ball anymore, and, that's a recipe for disaster.
Ronald Jones ran it better.
They're going to keep giving the ball to Peyton, aren't they?
But listen, hot hand. If you're going to ride the hot hand, it was apparent in the flow of the game, middle of the game, that Ronald Jones is the answer, because Peyton Barber is running through some of the same holes we were generating, but the max he can get out of it is 5 yards.
Yeah, he's limited,
because he's too slow.
He's really limited. I don't know what you do here. The only way it sounds like we go from euphoria to fatalism, week to week with the Bucs, but I actually think the truth is the Bucs are pretty identifiable right now. They'll stop your run. If you give Jameis time to throw, he can hurt you. But they don't have the ability to stop opposing passing games. They just can't. And if they don't get pressure, they really get embarrassed. And so the better offensive lines in this league will hold up, and those guys will throw the football, and you can't win like that. And I don't know, we're failing in the draft to find people in the secondary. This is why I got mad with the Minkah Fitzpatrick thing. What a waste in Pittsburgh he's sitting up there now. They're going to win 5 games. They suck to high heaven. And that no reason.
Yeah.
No reason.
Well, yeah, yesterday was just – I'm not overwhelmingly, disappointed and bitter the way I was after the Giants game because this was clearly a game of limitations. Yeah. Here are our limitations. We knew that if everything falls right, you might be able to, find 9-10 wins, and it's a fluky 9-10 win season. We never thought that we should be 9-7 or 10-6. You still could find 8-8, 9-7. You still can. Yeah, if you get pressure on a given week, but there was just no chance against that O-line yesterday. No chance.
Yeah, it's –
should be noted, too, with the weird broadcasting now that we're in the 3 o'clock hour. You're listening to 97.9 ESPN Radio, WTSM, Woodville, Thomasville, Tallahassee.
Yeah, so let me explain this in our waning moments. If you're tuning in right now going, what's going on? They're in the middle of a segment as they start. Yeah, so here's the deal. We're contractually obligated, like I said before, to run the Braves. The Braves playoff postseason games you especially have to run. You agree to that when you bring a team onto your network. It's a give and take like anything else, but they want their postseason games if they're going to sign on with you, and so they want those to run. And, of course, we're not going to bring you Braves baseball year long and then not have them play in the postseason where you can hear it. So it just so happened they scheduled that game after the Braves come back win for 3:07 p.m. There's potential for another scheduling conflict later this week on a Wednesday if the Braves don't close it out.
It's a 5:07 first pitch. I saw that on ESPN.com.
So we may have to do something similar to this. But what I will tell you is if you've missed we came on at 1. If you've missed anything, it's up on YouTube. You can go back and find it. It's going to be there on iTunes for you to catch. So we tried to give you what we could, a couple of hours today. Primarily, we've talked about Florida State and Clemson. It's a weird week. It's so strange and frankly disappointing to me. It's weird. I don't want to be too much of a Debbie Downer here, but you're coming off of back-to-back wins as you went into the bye week. You played better on defense, especially against NC State. Now, the question becomes whether or not that's sort of a false positive because those two teams, Louisville and NC State, are not very good. In particular, NC State's bad at quarterback. So, I don't know what to believe. I do think they're playing hard for each other. I do think, as Willie said, they're playing more together. I think that's real. I believe they've bought in. I believe they're playing for each other. I think that is real. How good are they? Well, you'll get your honest test here. If Clemson cares, that Vegas number is not nuts after all. If Clemson is locked up or buttoned up, I should say, and playing smart and looking to operate, as I say, at peak efficiency and not just slam their head into the wall because they feel like working on something in a given weekend in a bad ACC, then you're in real trouble. You're probably not going to have much of a chance to win this game because we lose on first downs. And if you give the entire playbook to Clemson by winning first down for them, then you're gonna get beat badly. I think you're gonna get beat up.
What's interesting to me is, ETN obviously is Heisman finalist worthy in terms of his talent, but they don't use him a whole bunch.
Well, they've refused to for
they're
now.
Coming off of a game in which
bet they use him here.
He could be 8 yards a carry if they cared to do it against North Carolina, and they'd be up 2-3 scores going into the fourth quarter, and that crowd, it rises for the first half, but then they realize, okay, reality check. But they were stubborn about it. The thing here is, I think if ETN has a little bit of early success, maybe that's better because if they decide to throw the ball 45 times a game, I don't know that we could cover a whole lot. Not that consistently.
No, I don't think we can, buddy. I need to find something. I don't know, way down deep in the cockles. I got to find it. I don't know where it lies.
It's Marvin Wilson, Big Coop, and Durden. That's where it starts.
Well, right.
2nd and 10 forever. I get what I just said, but in truth, you've got to play the game the right way, which is you stop the run, and then you hope Lawrence has an off day. He has been a bit of a turnover machine, especially compared to last season's numbers.
Well, he's got 5 interceptions, so that's not good compared to last year.
A lot of careless throws too, but if we can't cover, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, still averaging well over 8 yards per attempt in the air, and he's still, when he cares and if they protect him, we'll get beat. And he'll throw it accurately. And it'll just be dudes streaking down the field. We're going to go, well, that's a tough matchup. Because we don't cover average receivers all that well. I don't imagine that you're going to cover really good ones all that well.
No, unless we find some new people on the roster that we're unaware of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just well, and maybe that is the kernel of hope that you hang on to here is Levitt had time. In Jim Levitt, we trust.
Levitt had time. This week. Levitt had time.
Levitt had time. I'm serious about that. Levitt had time to put something together. I mean, we can't trust Harlan Burnett to do it. So Levitt had time. He could walk in there and be like, be quiet, Harlan. Ain't nobody want to hear what you got to say here. Here's what we're going to do. And then you give him your best shot with whatever Jim Levitt's done this week or last week.
We're going to drop 9 in coverage. They refuse to run the ball, guys, so we're going to drop 9 in coverage.
I mean, I don't know. As long as Drew freaking Sweeney doesn't catch 5 passes for 50 yards and a touchdown, then they were clowning us last year. Clowning us. He just stopping the game to get his son in there. Run a post. It'll be open. I promise you.
He'll get the Herbies in there this time.
Oh, sweet Jesus. I can't. Roll my eyes. All right, so I'm going to shut up, and we're going to move aside, and here you go. We're taking you right into the game. Should be first pitch coming up here in just a second, if not joining right now. So for Tom Lang, I'm Jeff. Thanks for listening, everybody. Good job, Matthew, and we'll talk to you with the full show tomorrow.